Have you ever noticed that when you go to the beach, there are more people on the shore than there are in the water? Why is that? My name is Bryan Cobaris, the Executive Director of Faithful Few Motivations, and I'm here with your MOM, your Moment of Motivation. Now, the answer is simple. Not everyone can swim. People like the beach, people like the sun, people like to be by the water, but if they can't swim, they don't need to be in the water. Now, the problem with them being in the water is because not only do they present a danger to themselves, they present a danger to a person who may be swimming out to try to rescue them if they get into trouble. Now, I've studied a lot of crisis situations, and one of the most dangerous ones is a drowning situation, simply because a drowning victim will be in a panic state and will try to do anything they can to stay afloat, which means that if you're swimming out to them and you're not properly trained to approach them the right way, they will claw, push, and even drag you underwater just so they can stay afloat. How does this relate to you? Well, it's because God is sending you somewhere specific. God has a specific task for you to do. That's what you've been gifted for. That's what you've been called for. But you may not necessarily be going with everybody that you want to go with. You know, you have friends, you have family members, and you love them and they love you. But they may not necessarily be the ones that are supposed to go with you. Look in the Bible. There have been situations like, for example, Abraham. Abraham was told by God to go to a faraway land. God didn't tell him to take everybody with him. And as a result, his father died. Weird, but true. And you look at the situation with Moses. I mean, God spoke to Moses. When God spoke through the burning bush, there was nobody around but Moses. So Moses was called by God, plain and simple. Yet Moses felt the need to take his brother with him, and as soon as Moses stepped away from his brother, he stabbed him in the back. I mean, he got in on the golden calf thing and all of that. I say all that to say this: that just because you love someone, just because someone loves you, that don't mean that they've been called to go where you're going. Everyone has a specific task to fulfill. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has something that they will put on this earth to do. And loving someone is not a prerequisite. It's not a requirement to get to where you're going. You don't have to have people there with you that are going to be with you, because a lot of times you're going to be on your own. And many times God does the separating, and sometimes you just got to let him do what he does. I mean, even Jesus said that a prophet has no honor in his own country. Now, that doesn't mean that if I leave the United States, I'm going to be loved in every country. No, that means country meaning the people around me. Country means the people around you. So you're not necessarily going to be accepted, where you are and by everyone that's around you. But, just know that wherever God sends you, he's making provisions for you. He's got everything that you need already there. You have everything that you need already within you. All you have to do is start moving in the direction that he sends you in, and be receptive to the things that he, tries to instill in you along the way. And everything is going to be everything. Everything is going to work out. Trust me. So with that being said, don't go out of your way to try to maintain or even break connections, because God knows above all, who you need in your life. There have been times where I've tried to separate myself from people who just won't go away. And there have been times where I've tried to hold on to people who just, no matter what, they still slipped away. So, trust God. He knows what he's doing. He knows who's really for you. He knows who's really against you. So trust him, and just know that everything's going to be all right, and you don't have to drown. And basically, you don't have to drown. So with that being said, have a blessed one and stay encouraged. This is Bryan Cobaris, Faithful Few Motivations. This was your moment of motivation.